Let me take you back to a time long, long ago, to a mighty kingdom called Babylon. It was ruled by a powerful king named Darius. Now, this king wasn't just rich and strong, he was wise too, and among all his officials and workers, there was one man who stood out and won the king's favor: Daniel. Daniel wasn't Babylonian. He had been taken from his homeland years ago, but because he was wise, kind, and full of integrity, every king who ruled saw something special in him. Even now, King Darius was thinking of putting Daniel in charge of the entire kingdom. That's how much he trusted him. But not everyone liked that idea. Some of the other officials grew jealous and despised him. "Why should Daniel get all this power?" they whispered. "He's not even one of us." Their jealousy turned into bitterness. And then bitterness turned into a plan. They tried to dig up dirt on Daniel. Any mistake, any lie, anything they could use to get him in trouble. Even hiding behind his windows to listen in. But they found nothing. Daniel was honest, faithful, a man of prayer. The only thing they could hold against him was his devotion to God. So the jealous officials came up with a sneaky trick. They went to King Darius and said, "Oh great king, you're so powerful, you should make a law that for 30 days no one can pray to any god or person except you. If anyone disobeys, they'll be thrown into the lion's den." The king, flattered and unaware of their scheme, agreed. He signed it into law, sadly. Now, here's something you need to know. In that kingdom, once a law was signed by the king, not even the king himself could undo it. The trap was set in place, and Daniel, of course, he knew all about it, but he also knew something else. He could never stop praying to the God he loved and served. So, just like he always did, Daniel went up to his room, opened the windows toward Jerusalem, and knelt down to pray. Morning, noon, night. He wasn't hiding cowardly. He wasn't afraid. He just trusted God completely. Of course, the officials were spying on him. The moment they saw him praying, they rushed to the king. "Your Majesty," they cried, "Daniel is breaking your law. He's still praying to his God." King Darius was shocked. He suddenly realized he had been tricked. The king was completely heartbroken. He respected Daniel deeply. He tried all day to find a way to save him. But the law was the law. And by nightfall, he had no choice. With a heavy heart, he gave the command: Daniel must be thrown into the lion's den. The king looked Daniel in the eyes. "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you," he said. Then Daniel was lowered into the dark, cold pit, in a den of lions. A stone was rolled over the entrance. The king sealed it with his ring, and then there was silence. That night, King Darius couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. He didn't even listen to his musicians as they played. His palace felt empty. His heart felt heavy, because all he could think about was Daniel, down there with the lions. As soon as the sun began to rise, the king quickly jumped out of bed and ran to the lion's den. He called out with a trembling voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, Has your God rescued you from the lions?" Then, amazingly, a voice came from inside the den. "O King, live forever!" It was Daniel. "My God sent his angel to shut the mouths of the lions. They didn't harm me because I was found innocent in his sight, and in yours, O King." King Darius was overjoyed. He shouted for the men to pull Daniel up right away. Everyone stared in disbelief, utter shock. Daniel wasn't scratched. Not even a single bite. Not a single bruise. God had protected him all through the night. But the king wasn't done. He angrily turned to the officials who had plotted against Daniel. But as they were begging, pleading for the king to spare their lives, justice had to be done. They were lowered down into the pit. And the same lions that had spared Daniel were not so gentle to the ones who had schemed to harm him. Then King Darius did something even more important. He wrote a new decree. This time, not one made from pride or flattery. It was a declaration to every nation, every tribe, and every language in his kingdom. The king's message was this: "May you all show respect and fear for the God of Daniel. For he is the living God. He endures forever. His kingdom will never be destroyed. He rescues and saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth." From that day on, Daniel continued to prosper in the king's palace and in all the lands. He kept serving faithfully under King Darius and even under the new king who came after him. Nothing, not lions, not jealous enemies, not even the law, could stop God's plan and purpose for his life. And Daniel? He never stopped praying, never stopped trusting, fervently prayed and seeked the Lord's face day and night. Through every new season, every new threat, and every new test, his heart stayed anchored in the God who never failed him. So, what do we learn from the story of Daniel in the lion's den? That God is always with us, even in the darkest places. That faith isn't about what we can see or hear, but about trusting and hoping when we don't see it, as we observe in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. And that sometimes the most courageous thing we can do is kneel and pray, knowing that God is bigger than any lion or enemy we'll ever face in life. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and hit that subscribe button for more inspiring stories and lessons from the Bible. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.